Hey, it's Mitchell again. Welcome to another video in the RSP education series. Not all contactors are created equal, and using the wrong one could mean fried coils, tripped breakers, or a stalled motor when you need it most. The difference is typically electrical ratings. In this video, we're going to cut through the confusion and show the key specs that really matter so you can match your contactor to your application with confidence. If you like this content and want more educational videos, like always, please like and subscribe. This video is for educational purposes only. Consult a professional for your application. RSP Supply is not liable for any misuse of this information. With that said, let's get into it. So let's talk electrical ratings that you need to know. Voltage rating, coil and contact side. So coil voltage is the small electrical signal that's used to turn the contactor on or off. It could be 24 volt DC, 120 volt AC, or 230 volt AC, etc. Make sure it matches the control signal coming from your panel or PLC. Contact voltage is the amount of power that the contactor can safely switch on the motor or load side. This could be something like 240 volts, 480 volts, or 600 volts AC. Using a contactor rated for lower voltage than your system can cause overheating or failure. So current rating, in this case it's AC-3. AC-3 current rating tells you how much motor current the contactor can handle while starting and running a motor. It's meant for squirrel cage induction motors that run continuously after starting. For example, if a contactor has an AC-3 rating of 32 amps, it means it can safely switch motors up to 32 amps while under load, including the brief surge during startup. What is important though is don't confuse this with AC-1. That's for resistive loads. We're talking induction motors. AC-3 is specifically for motor loads with inrush current. So pole configuration. A pole is one switching path for electricity. Most contactors come in 3-pole, which is used for 3-phase motors. That's in standard industrial settings. Each phase line is going to go through one pole. You might have a 4-pole. That adds a 4th switching line, often used for isolating the neutral wire or switching DC loads, or for specialized systems. Think of it this way. If you have 3 wires powering your motor, you need 3 poles to switch them all. Duty cycle. Let's talk this for a little bit. That tells you how often a contactor can safely turn on and off in a given time period without wearing out. For example, a contactor may be rated for 600 operations per hour, or labeled as intermittent duty or continuous duty. If you switch it too frequently for its rating, it will overheat, arc, or wear out much faster. Key for applications like motor jogging, reversing, or cycling pumps and compressors. Now let's discuss interlocks. They prevent 2 contactors from being on at the same time. There's mechanical latching that keeps the contactor closed even after coil power is lost. Arc suppression is designed to safely break arcs during switching. Control via PLC. Contactors can be operated from digital outputs on PLCs. Those are some real pros with contactors versus just simple switches. Real-world examples: turning on a conveyor belt motor from a control room, controlling multiple pumps or fans in a wastewater treatment plant, switching motors based on sensor input like temperature or pressure sensors. Let's give a summary of key components in a motor contactor system just to recap. The coil is the part that generates a magnetic field when energized. That pulls the contacts together to complete the circuit. Main contacts are the heavy-duty connections that actually carry the motor's current when the contactor is closed. Auxiliary or aux contacts, they're used in control circuits for things like feedback signals, indicator lights, or holding circuits. The overload relay is a safety device that protects the motor from overheating by detecting when the motor is drawing too much current for too long. A starter is simply a combination of a contactor and an overload relay, giving you both switching and motor protection in one unit. Let's recap. Your contactor's voltage rating needs to match your control and load side. The AC-3 current rating needs to handle your motor's startup surge. Pole count should match your phase configuration, and don't overlook duty cycle because switching too often can wear it out fast. Add smart features like interlocks, arc suppression, and PLC compatibility, and you're well on your way to a reliable motor control setup. The right ratings aren't optional, They're essential. As always, for hundreds of thousands of other industrial automation products, go to our website. That's rspsupply.com, the internet's top source for industrial hardware.